What's up, VC? What's up, vinyl community? It's Dan, the Vinyl Geezer, hanging out with you for at least one more video. Hopefully, you guys are having a great start, the unofficial start to summer here in the States, Memorial Day weekend, as I'm celebrating by spinning records and drinking coffee, because that's the way we do it here at the Vinyl Geezer. This video, we're going to be talking about some recent vinyl finds. All right, so let's get to the recent vinyl finds. Really? Recent? Not all of these. I'll tell you that. Some of these are kind of older. Thing is, I kind of dropped off the face of the planet for a couple of years, so we've got some catching up to do. You know what I mean? But I have put in like the last 4 or 5 albums that I've purchased into this stack. So, no further ado, let's just talk about records. Let's get into it. So I was just kind of listening to some records. I was thinking it's the unofficial start of summer here in the States. Memorial Day weekend, barbecues, go to the lake, deal with hangovers, all that nonsense. I like to sit around, spin records, drink coffee, do stuff like that, and listen to albums that remind me of the summer, right? And I put this on. I just wanted to talk about this. ABC's The Lexicon of Love 2. Now, this came out in 2016. This, kind of went under the radar. Martin Fry really killed it with this one. ABC's Lexicon of Love Part 2. Great stuff on here. Viva Love. Singer Not the Song. Such a killer song. There's one of my favorites on here is 10 Below Zero. Is such a great song. ABC's The Lexicon of Love Part 2. Dare I say, almost as good as Lexicon of Love Part 1. Yeah, it's up there with that. If you haven't listened to this and you're an ABC fan, you're a Martin Fry fan, you dig kind of the 80s synth pop and just the production that went into it, Martin Fry never sounded better. 2016's ABC's Lexicon of Love Part 2. Last time I checked, this was not available on streaming services, so you can check it out on YouTube. I do believe that the entire album is up on YouTube, and check it out. ABC's Lexicon of Love 2. I don't even know if that's still available on vinyl. I picked that up a couple of years ago. Just thought I'd talk about it. I know I've talked about it before. Let's get into some recent vinyl pickups. This one, I think I mentioned in the last video. I just finally picked up a decent copy of Jailbreak from Thin Lizzy. Yeah, this is not an album that I see in the stores a lot. I think there's a repress out there. I do see that. I've had bad luck with reissues on stuff like this that I haven't really dove into. I wanted to get close to an original pressing of this. So yeah, found this. $20 at a antique mall. So yeah, Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy. Killer stuff. One of the coolest album covers of the 70s for sure. And I mean, just one of the coolest album covers really of all time. What can I say about Thin Lizzy that you don't already know? Nothing. They're awesome. This is a great sounding record. It's a great record. Period. Jailbreak, Thin Lizzy. Yeah, pick that one up. This next one we're going to go back into, I want to say I got this, was it over the winter? Maybe last fall. I may have talked about this. If I have, forgive me if I haven't, or if I have or haven't. You guys need to know about it. Nathaniel Rateliff live at Red Rocks 2020. This was done during the COVID pandemic freak out that we had. And he played into and freak out. I'm not saying, I freaked out. I think everybody freaked out. So yeah, Nathaniel Rateliff played Red Rocks during that whole thing to nobody. And this is phenomenal. Some of the stuff on here honestly sounds better than it does on the studio versions. And this is just a fantastic record through and through. Nathaniel Rateliff live at Red Rocks 2020. If you get a chance, definitely check it out. Stream it for sure. If you're a Nathaniel Rateliff fan like I am, this is a must-have if you haven't picked it up already. So just great stuff. 2 vinyl, double vinyl release on some kind of, weird color variant that they always do. I want to say you can get that for about $25. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right, moving on. So this was a huge album when I was, I don't know, a teen, preteen, and that is U2's Rattle and Hum. I want to say this is from 1988. There was some live stuff on here. There's also a B.B. King song that U2 did with B.B. King, When Love Came to Town. Some live versions of some older songs. I'm a huge U2 fan, so this was a must-have. It's not something that I see often. Because, the late 80s, everybody was kind of making that transfer to CDs. So not a lot of availability for this record. U2's Rattle and Hum. I picked this up, let's say, a couple of months ago at Hit Records in Columbia. And, yeah, it's, Angel of Harlem was on this. It's a solid U2 record. It's not like the best of the best U2 albums. I know a lot of people really don't dig this record. It's a great record for me. I dig it. Reminds me of the late 80s and MTV. Moving on. Let's keep this going, shall we? Also picked this one up. I might have picked it up on the same day, and that is Depeche Mode's A Broken Frame. I want to say this album was 1982 on the Sire label, Broken Frame. Just don't see too many original Depeche Mode records, do you? It's something that you don't see often. This one was in shrinks, got that cool like Super Saver series sticker on it. Always love those kind of hype stickers. This is their first record, I believe, post Vince Clarke. He would move on to do Yaz. He would move on from Yaz to do, of course, Erasure. So this is kind of their breakaway album from Vince Clarke, and definitely a darker tone, as Martin Gore would take on a lot of the writing in this one. So yeah, Depeche Mode's A Broken Frame. Love that cover. Great stuff on the Sire label there. Cool little pickup. Don't see those that often. All right. Yeah, this popped up. I've had this in my want list on Discogs forever. There was a reissue done, and I missed the reissue campaign. And this album just tends to go for a lot of money. And I don't know why. You guys know I'm a huge fan of 80s pop. And this has just been an album that I've been looking for a long time. And I've never ran across it. I finally ran across it on Discogs. It was the UK version of Roxette's Look Sharp. Roxette, Swedish pop duo? Swedish pop duo. This album, I'm going to say, is this from 88 or 89? I'm not sure. I know it's somewhere. Yeah, this says 1988. Roxette. And just a huge album back then. I'm a fan of this album. I like it. Is it pop? Is it pop with 80s gloss? Yeah, but I mean, I was listening to a podcast the other day and somebody was talking about pop music is like candy. And I like candy. And I like pop music because pop music is like candy. So yeah, a lot of my records, and there's a whole lot of pop hanging out here. Roxette's Look Sharp from 1988. Not an album that you find too often, and especially for the price I got it for. Near mint description. Not near mint. Nowhere close. Near mint record. Near mint this. Near mint that. No. You guys... just be careful on Discogs. Look at the if it's a good price. I tend to not. I did have to send him a message, and I'm like, look, dude, this is not a near mint record. It's not even close. He's like, yeah, maybe I should have marked it as VG plus. Really? Probably should have marked it at VG. It's fine. It's not bad. It's just it's hard to find the prices right, so I'm not complaining too much. It's not like I must have my money back. No, I'm happy to have it. It plays through decent, very minimal noise, but man, what is up with record grading on Discogs? My gosh, guys, it seems like it's getting worse. It feels like Discogs 7 years ago was a lot better. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it sure feels like it used to. It feels like it's getting worse, unless you're buying new stuff from very, 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 very reputable dealers. Just read the feedback and tend to believe it. Somebody's going out of their way on Discogs to leave that feedback. Probably should take it in. If you're willing to make take a shot, take the shot. What are you going to do? I was so happy. So Nathaniel Rateliff. So going back to Nathaniel Rateliff. Nathaniel Rateliff from Hermann, Missouri. Not too far from here. Jeff City, Missouri, and then ended up moving to Denver. All right. So, Jeff City represented twice in this video. Jefferson City, Missouri. This, Gravity Kills, their debut record. I think they only had 2 records. Gravity Kill, huge in St. Louis. But originally a Jeff City band that moved to St. Louis and was featured on the rock station 105.7 The Point, which was just a huge rock station in the 90s. I don't know if it's like an alternative station. But this finally got reissued. And it's the first time it's been on vinyl. And Gravity Kills, you would know the song Guilty probably. It was pretty good mainstream kind of alternative hit. It was also featured on the Seven soundtrack, the song Guilty. And this came on a nice, unexpected cobalt blue. So, looked pretty nice. And it sounds really good. If you're into kind of industrial Nine Inch Nails, metal kind of stuff, you would dig Gravity Kills. Killer production value in that record. Sounds good. Solid reissue. Wish all reissue campaigns sounded as good as that one does. So, moving on, as we're getting to the last couple of records here. So, I don't know why, but I missed. I guess I took for granted that Goo Goo Dolls records were going to be in print because they're huge. Why would you not? I don't understand. I don't know who owns their music catalog, but I don't understand why the Goo Goo Dolls are not being represented all the time with reissues. I don't get it. I don't get why their records aren't constantly in pressing. I don't get it, and I kind of took it for granted that Goo Goo Dolls are always going to be available because they're huge. They're Goo Goo Dolls. So Dizzy Up the Girl, Gutter Flower, Boy Named Goo, not being reissued. So you gotta kind of take what you can get. I went on Discogs and I kind of looked up some reviews of this. It's the Goo Goo Dolls Greatest Hits, Volume 1, the singles. So I don't know if there's a Volume 2 that they're planning on putting out, but I thought, why not? I'm gonna go for it. And this is actually, it's really decent. I don't have anything to compare it to. I don't have a copy of Dizzy Up the Girl. I don't have a copy of Gutter Flower. There is one thing that you might want to consider. Name is on here, but it's Name new version. If you just pretend like it's a live version, it feels much better. But Name, I would love to have the original version. So apparently, I think that Goo Goo Dolls, they were signed to Metal Blade. Is that right? That's what my friend Josh told me. For A Boy Named Goo. And I guess they're still fighting with Metal Blade to get the rights to press that, or they wanted to add this to their collection but couldn't because Metal Blade owns the song or whatever. Anyway, so they decided to do their own kind of version, and they did it differently. They didn't do it kind of like Taylor Swift did, where she kind of tried to record everything exactly the same as before, I'm not a Swiftie, so don't quote me on that. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what I heard that she did. I didn't even listen to any of the stuff side by side. Name on here kinda stinks, but it is, you just pretend it's a live version, you'll be okay. All the other hits are here, pretty much. Let Love In, the song Dizzy, Here Is Gone, Broadway, Big Machine, Black Balloon, Sympathy, Iris, of course, is on here. So it's a great little comp, and I've been spinning it a lot, and it's nice to just be able to jam Goo Goo Dolls. I dig Goo Goo Dolls. I'm a fan of the Goo, for sure. So anyway, yeah, not half as bad as you think. And I know that I think there's a Walmart version. I don't know. This isn't a Walmart version, but I know there's a Walmart version of this too. I'd imagine it's probably the same pressing. It sounds pretty decent. So, what are you gonna do when you need the Goo? What you gonna do? You need the Goo? You get the Goo. Really wish they would reissue A Boy Named Goo. That's really the one that I want. I mean, there's songs on there like Naked and Long Way Down, the original Name, just the whole record is just, that record is just great. I love the style. I love the way it sounds. So anyway, speaking of reissue campaigns, The Cult continues their reissue campaign. We can only hope that next will be Beyond Good and Evil. Please reissue that one. In the meantime, we got The Cult, baby, 1994. This thing's been on my want list on Discogs for years. Was finally able to take that off of the want list. Yes, The Cult's 1994. A lot of people would call this their grunge album. Dude, it's The Cult all the way through and through. You got the tambourine. You got Billy Duffy, killer guitar hooks, guitar riffs. This did kind of go in another direction that you would see from the Cult's previous record, Ceremony. They did go in a different direction, but it's still culty, and it is kick-ass. So yeah, Cult, 1994 issue, the GOAT record, whatever you want to call it, Gone, Coming Down, Real Girl, Star, just great lineup of songs on this record, and it sounds great. I wish every band would treat their reissues as the Cult treats their reissues. It's amazing stuff. I recently picked up the Electric reissue because of Electric Peace, which was the first recording of the album Electric. They released it as part of the Electric record, which kind of it's a weird sounding version of Electric. It sounds like Electric Love. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Love, but it's electric songs. It's kind of hard to explain. If I can pull it out here and find it pretty quick, I'll show it to you just so you might know. Not that be Sonic Temple. And I don't know why I start talking about records I don't have in front of me. This would be it, the Cult's Electric Peace. So this is basically, this isn't the cover, it's just kind of a slip that they put in there. So it's just a gatefold version of the Cult's Electric album. And it's got that, and it's got this record on it, which is Electric Peace, which is, it's pretty awesome to hear. Not quite as, Electric is what it is, right? It's Rick Rubin stripped down. The Cult, just, wow, what a band. They've just, one of my favorites, of course, you guys know, I'm a huge Cult freak. Very happy to have this. And this was available. I talked to my local shop and I'm like, can you guys get this? And they're like, yeah, which one do you want? White or the Black? And I was like, I don't care. Whichever one you guys want to get. So they're like, we just got both of them. And they're like, just pick out which one you want. So I went with the indie exclusive white. So, and it sounds great. Before I would have just gone with black vinyl. I'm still more of a black vinyl kind of guy. But I think they've finally figured out how to make a colored record sound good. I like colored vinyl. So anyway. That's it. That's all I got. I've got nothing else. If you've hung out hopefully, you know, it's been worth it. I don't know. Like I always say, well, no, not like I always say, but, you know, something I've been saying recently, if you've come for inconsistency and a mediocre presentation, you've come to the right place. Yeah, sub to Giza, give him some watches, all right? As I'm getting ready to take off here, check this video out. Yeah, this is it's your algorithm. It's one of my videos that you might dig according to your algorithm. You can sub to Giza right here and give him some watches. Keep digging them records. Peace out. I love you guys. Have a safe holiday weekend. Bye-bye now.